true to the poetic language, I should say that the world has completely become a small thing. Like it's become easy to bridge the borders. Poetry is one of the finest mediums today. Thanks to poetry and our poets in the world, we can proudly say it's a small, small world. Yeah. Uh, Welcome to another week of UBI Open Mic. Welcome to another winning, winsome, wonderful, wondrous, worldly, and worthwhile Wednesday of meaningful poetry and awesomest poets we have today. So the lineup goes like this. We have an amazing lineup of poets this evening, and the stars of the event are Dr. Prakash, Divya Venkateshwaran, Hamida, and Deepti Kharpas. Going by gender, I don't think it's become a platitude to say that ladies first or going by age bar. I don't think all this works today. Uh, since poetry is all about words and verses, let's go by the alphabetical order. And I would like to invite Deepti Kharpas, the poet of this evening. Deepti is a professor by her profession, and poetry is her passion. And I would like a few words from the right out of the house's mouth. Please, could you introduce yourself, Deepti?
Uh, okay, I'm just a common person and I consider myself to be a learner and a thinker. So I have a poet's soul, I have a mind of a thinker, and I am a relentless learner and I'm a human. That's it.
That's great, great.
Nice.
Uh, Deepti writes wonderful English poems as much as I know about her. And today she has some surprise poems for us. And she has some impromptu stuff, which I'm sure everyone would like it. Deepti, would you like to recite some of your old or you have something new in your kitty?
I'll recite one of my old poems.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And if you, we don't need any preamble, but at least like what kind of a poem is it and what is it about? Yeah.
Oh, yes. It is the poem is called A Poetic Mind. Basically, it discovers how a poet is from within and how the poetry flows, discovers more about a poetic mind. That's it. Should I start?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Please, please go ahead, Deepti.
Okay. A poetic mind feels sublime, unveils itself in the rhythm divine, sings and sways in the sunshine, dances its way at the night time. In the moon and stars it sees itself. From the high skies it draws inspiration, jots down thoughts with an innate passion, and believes that it were a butterfly itself. A poetic mind just feels awesome. Awesome. It finds solace in the beautiful rains. Drenched in waters, it forgets its pains. Like a bee, it continues to hum. It feels great when someone does appreciate its efforts, its art, as it would demonstrate. It would make an effort to show a writing trait, force down thoughts on paper as if it's his mate. A poetic mind is a simpleton though. It knows no boundaries of lands, faith, and the like. It just recites its thought and treats everyone alike, with love, care, compassion, and empathy, although. A poetic mind has bliss as its friend, always joyous and worries are put to end. Beautiful thoughts it would happily lend, in case it helps your life to mend. A poetic mind could fly with the wind. It could walk straight on the flowing waters, could match its skills with that of potters, and that's just the miraculous poetic mind. The poetic mind is one of its kind. It could add to your thought a new perception, help things catch pace and set them in motion. It is not frozen by the cold nor blown by the wind. A poetic mind in itself is a delight, as only it itself knows its might. It can make you feel like a feather light or like a heavy object, fill you with emotions tight. love you, O poetic mind, as you are the one within, who helps my emotions to unwind, puts me in place and makes me experience love. I feel like a serene and beautiful dove. Thank you.
Wow, that was excellent, Deepti. Actually, we got a wonderful insight into a poetic mind thanks to your poem, and we can all relate to this. I think we as poets. I think we have not got enough of you, and I would like you to recite one more poem of yours, one of your favorite poems, so that we know
Uh,
more of Deepti, the poet.
English or Hindi Marathi would do.
Not Marathi, you can just, or you can do, I think, Hindi and English
Hindi
because
is
the
fine.
larger audience. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Hindi.
English is also fine or Hindi. Yeah.
I have written this poem. So basically, the purpose of this poem, I have written this poem in the first person just to avoid any sort of stigma around uh, what this poem speaks about. Um, I've written it in first person for a reason, and that will unfold towards the end of the poem. So, shall I start, Kameshwari?
Yes, yes, sure, sure.
Okay. मेरा बचपन मेरे सपने, मेरे हाथ में मेरी उम्मीदें, मेरी तकदीर का मैं मालिक बनना चाहता हूँ अब भी। मेरी मुस्कान बड़ी भोली सी, मेरा स्पर्श प्यार भरा, मैं भी हूँ उसी ईश्वर का बनाया एक अजूबा। तो क्या हुआ अगर मुझे नहीं आता खुद को बयां करना औरों की तरह। भावनाओं के सैलाब मेरे मन में भी है, वही प्यार, माया, ममता और जिंदगी को खुलकर जीने की चाह। शायद कुछ दर्द सा, कुछ आक्रोश और हल्का सा खुमार मुझ में है बरकरार। फिर भी जिंदगी से जूझ कर, हर पल आई मुसीबतों का सामना कर, न किसी से कोई बैर रख, जिंदगी खुश मिजाज तरीके से काटता हूँ तो सही। हाँ, जब खुद को बयां ना कर पाने का गम सिर चढ़ जाए, चीखने चिल्लाने का सहारा लेने वाला भी मैं ही हूँ। तुम तो रोजमर्रा की जिंदगी से फ्रस्ट्रेट होकर चीख पड़ते हो, मैं रोजमर्रा की जिंदगी से तो नहीं उब गया अब तक। मेरे माँ बाप का हूँ मैं ऋणी, वे है निरपेक्ष प्रेम की परिभाषा। मेरे माँ बाप का हूँ मैं ऋणी, वो है निरपेक्ष प्रेम की परिभाषा। तुम बयां कर सकते हुए भी न कर पाए जो बयां अभी तक, मैंने बयां ना कर सकते हुए भी कर दिया जाहिर। कुछ लोग समझते हैं मैं नहीं हूँ नॉर्मल, वे ठीक ही समझते हैं, क्योंकि मैं हूँ सुपर नॉर्मल। नहीं चाह मुझे सहानुभूति की, नहीं झूठे दिखावे के प्यार की, बस समझ लो मैं हूँ तुम में से एक बंदा, कई मामलों में तुमसे बेहतर जरा सा। तुम तो बोलते हुए भी अबोल रह गए, मैं न बोलते हुए भी सब कुछ कर गया जाहिर। ऑटिज्म स्पीक्स in every sense. Thank you.
Excellent, Deepti. That was such a touching poem. That was extremely a touching poem, and I like the climax of it. Although we got the essence of the poem in between, the ending was excellent. We simply loved it. The topic is extremely uh, touching, and actually, there are many issues that are not addressed of late, and we hesitate to even talk about it. And your poem has done wonders. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot for such a lovely poem with a message.
Thank you.
It was indeed a very heart-touching poem.
Yes, yes.
Normally, people don't talk about such things much, and it was it was a great one, a mixture of Hindi and English. I just loved it.
Yeah, loved it, loved
Kudos.
it.
Actually, for this reason, I wrote it in first person. Had it been in third person, there would have been stigma. So
Yes,
I
yes.
just wanted to avoid the stigma and write it in first person.
Yeah, yeah. No, first person makes a larger and a more better impact, in fact. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Deepti. Thanks for your lovely two poems in two different languages. Uh, The next I would like to invite is Divya Venkateshwaran to give a small brief on her. Though I know her, know quite a bit about her, I would like to hear it from her own voice, in fact, in her own beautiful voice. I'll just introduce her in short, whatever I know about her. She is a Tamil Brahmin born in Mumbai, and she's raised up in Delhi. Divya Venkateshwaran is an English graduate from Delhi University with over 12 years of experience in customer service, quality, operations, and education services. She currently works as an English language trainer. Undoubtedly, she's one of the most promising poets we have today. Divya, would you like to introduce a little bit more about yourself?
Well, I think everyone in United by Ink knows me, so
Yes, yes.
it will
But
be I mean, it's been a long journey with United by Ink. I started off during pandemic, though I had joined it bit earlier, but I started off my writing journey with United by Ink. And it has been a great journey till now. And yes, I have evolved as I mean, I was never a poet as a poet, but I started off writing with quotes and prose. But yes, I have evolved as a poet, and I look forward to all the contests and especially the Inked Marathon, which happens with United by Ink. Having said that, I will be reciting a poem um, from the Inked Marathon itself, which I ran last year, and my book, along with another co-author. I mean, it was a book with a co-author. Her name is Rajni Nair, and we both ran the marathon, and we compiled a book on that. So I will be reciting one of the poem from that particular book. Uh, the prompt given was a special gift, and the poem I wrote is titled Manna from Heaven. So it goes like this: thoughts flashing back, agony adorning the face, that ecstatic grin lost, dislodged by the fetid tears, glowering over frivolous things as I sat desolate, detached. I accepted the souvenir, knocking at my life's egress, making my soul twinkle like a star among constellations, a driving force when hopes dashed, the ice that broke my barriers. Deserting the torment inside me, curative of my hardships, made me look through the mist. I drifted alongside unconsciously, melted me from within, transformed into my personal moon, illuminating the ambience around, manna from heaven. The phantasm, the gale, whatever exists, to the angelic being I owe that makes my life worth living, the gift of faith, a special gift. So
beautiful,
that
beautiful.
was one which is from the book. I don't know
Beautiful it
what
was,
else.
and I love the way you recited.
Thank you so much.
It
I
was
don't write
beautiful.
rhyme at all, so
No, no,
it
it's
just
actually
doesn't get into the rhythm.
it is all about poetry and free verses, and I love the pattern of your poem, in fact, and it it may it in fact it brought us into the heart of the poem because the way you recited it. Divya, you're excellent.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I would like to
Uh,
listen to more about more of your poems. In fact, we are not happy. I mean, not satisfied with this much.
Sure. This is something which I wrote very recently, and it's though I didn't title it, I am very bad with titles of my poem, so I have not titled this. But this was a picture which was given to us, wherein There was a mother in the swing and the daughter also uh, behind her, and they were swinging. So I have just, I just had the picture and I wrote it against it. So, though I have not titled it, so probably I can find a title if anybody can pitch it. Okay. It starts like the freckled yellow flowers that adorn her braid, smelling like a fresh breath, a thousand leaves palm up. The days seem longer, and so are the nights for her, as she could only exhale, the world losing its grip. Thinking of false promises, shallow hopes in her heart, but gives her soul to the child, quite familiar of things around. The baby in her back will soon be a young woman, her only sunshine in the dark, still her precious light. Racing on, her bones aching, her heart beating stronger as she tides up on the swing of life, an indomitable force pushing her. She wakes up and smiles at the sky, fixing her chin up at the sunny side, surviving on hope despite everything, standing up to her kin, the bravest act of life. Thank you
Wow.
so much.
I could visualize the entire poem. It seemed like a picture in front of my eyes. I think you can at least ask people to give a proper title to it, because I think you will get
Yeah.
too many titles and you will be spoiled for choice. Definitely.
Sure.
Loved it.
Actually,
Loved
I'm very bad with titles, and I normally,
it.
when I write, I just write it, I don't title it. But yes, hopefully, if any one of you comes up
Yes,
with a
yes.
title, I would be glad to.
I think you should put on your poems on different sites and tell people to name them, because I think you'll get some lovely titles for your poems, because we have totally
And name the
engrossed in
site.
it. They're so
And name the
picturesque.
site name Karan, Naam Karan.
Yes, Namkaran. That was a good one. Very
Sure,
picturesque
sure.
and extremely
Beautiful,
very
Divya. Beautiful,
attractive. Yeah,
beautiful,
attractive. Yeah,
beautiful.
Thank you so much. Thank you so
beautiful in the
much.
real sense. In fact, I feel when you don't title a poem, it works sometimes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because you get different kinds of ideas in your mind, and everyone has a different perception of it when they are asked to name.
Yes, of
Yeah.
course. And yes, I think I should first post on UBI, as Sapnaji says.
Yes.
So I think I will get a
We have
lot. I
many
will be,
stars in UBI, in fact,
yes,
and you
yes.
are one
As
of
you said,
them.
I will be spoiled for choice. Yes, of
Yes, yes.
course.
Because I see some regulars on UBI posts often, and we are so used to them, used to reading
Yeah,
their
it
poems and
has
all.
become United by Ink has is more of a
True
family
to
for
the
me.
name, yeah.
Yes, so yes, it's been a family. I've been associated with them for a very long time. Though I am not able to give much time now, but जब भी थोड़ा भी कुछ होता है, I just love to pitch in, and yes, whatever help I could do from my end, uh, I try to do it. I don't know how successful I am at it, but yes, I just love this family, and yes, and it's been, we have not met ever, but it's been such a wonderful family that we have, and we are like, though we don't know each other in person, but yes, it's just a connection. So yes,
So that is what online and online world. I think the last 2 years, it has brought poets and many other talent into life. I think live, I should say. We cannot even say that it is online, because somewhere we are
correct.
all connected much better than what we were earlier.
It's true, true, true,
So,
true.
and Sham sir has done a wonderful job.
Yeah.
United by
Of
Ink is
course.
and Sham sir have become synonymous to each other. He is
Hmm.
truly, he is uniting everyone through this common platform, like, and it's wonderful to be connected. Finally, it's all a big, huge family of poets in under different groups and names. Um, Divya, it was very fulfilling and enriching to listen to you. And I would like to go ahead with Hamida Hakim. Hamida is a graduate from Pune, and she is a full-time housewife and part-time writer. Hamida is a full-time housewife and a part-time writer. I would say that she's a full-time writer for me at least, because I just love what she writes. I can totally
Thank
relate
you.
to her stuff, and whatever she writes, it's so simplified, so beautiful. Any common man could relate to it, and understanding her poems, it's really very fruitful and so nice. I just
Thank you
love
so
the
much.
kind of poem she writes. Uh, and she has some 9 anthologies to your credit, right?
Yeah,
Yes, and
mashallah.
yes, and it's really so nice that you're taking out time for your passion, and passion is slowly going to become your profession. I'm damn sure about it.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yes, and because of her family and her near and dear ones around who actually encouraged her, she was actually encouraged to put her work into publish, and she has lot many books to her credit. I'm sure she'll flourish in this field. And
Inshallah,
today,
thank
yeah,
you.
today I think Hamida has some wonderful poems. And what's her first poem? It's about her mind. I think something that goes in the mind.
Yeah, it's about the moments that our mind keeps,
Yes,
the moments that our mind remembers.
yes,
I'm asking my mind to arrange all those moments according to me. Okay, all right.
yeah,
So here is my poem. I have titled it. It's like
yes.
my mind, the keeper of my moments.
Wow.
All right. So my mind, the keeper of my moments, sweet, sieve and sort wisely, keep as per the list precisely, keep the happiest ones in the middle shelf. All that my childhood holds, adolescent beholds, teenage unfold, and adulthood holds. Right from the paper boats that drown in rain, through the tantrums that were insane, efforts made again and again for me to train, moments that got framed, and also those that are unframed. From feelings ablazed, difficult to tame, to mature enough to control the same, from a love that grew with me, to retracing the childhood to see how good I can be. Keep it all there till 60 from 6. Easy access for moods to fix. Careful with those I can't take a risk. These are my oxygen, nothing to mix. Even if age turns me blind, keep it all safe, oh my mind, the keeper of my moments. Keep those sad and bad ones down below. My backache makes it very slow to stoop down to it that low. That way it will stay afar. For sadness in me too ajar. Those unpleasant moments, the pain, the loss, the moss of negative thoughts, the hurt I caused and regretted a lot, the battle within, lost and again fought, wanted to be forgotten, but it stays behind. Please log those, oh my mind, the keeper of my moments. Don't forget to keep harmless little suspicions that seep, though a bit of anxiety, but it's good for some variety. Those keep me on my toes, separating friends from foes. Curious always of its kind, always be alert, oh my mind, the keeper of my moment. Those that hold solace, peace, and gratitude, things that done with right attitude, the trials that aspires, the failures that inspires, and the goal that expires. Everything on the topmost glass shelf, where I can see them, held my head high. Moments I don't want to die. There are many to find. Keep searching, oh my mind, the keeper of my the keeper of my moments. Thank you. It's
Superb.
quite a big
that
one.
was good.
Superb. No, it wasn't a big one. In fact, I was waiting for more to hear more of it. It was so beautiful because usually in poems we express more and we talk about heart, feelings, and everything. And then this was something very different because you glorified the mind, which is extremely essential. Mind is indeed
So
a
much
keeper of
emotion.
so many things, so many
Things,
things.
yeah,
And to
yeah.
have an alert mind and a sane mind and to have sanity at its best is to be blessed.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Kameshwari.
superb, superb. In fact, when I just read your poem, you have already sent to me. That's the best part of it. I enjoyed it thoroughly, and there were so many things going on in my mind that we usually talk about heart, we usually talk about the different parts of the body, and then when it comes to our mind, how essential is it to be in your complete sanity as you grow, to remember, to be in your consciousness, to be alert, not allow anyone to take you for a ride. So
Yeah,
here, the mind over matter, mind over heart is extremely essential, and that it in fact it made me introspect into so many things. That's what we poets are about. I think we write and we make
thank
people
you.
think in those lines. Yeah, and everyone has different perspective for one thing, and so we can shell out so many different poems on one single topic. So I think
Yeah,
I can write something more on this.
yeah, sure, sure.
Lovely, wonderful, wonderful. Hamida, though the poem was quite long and nice, I would want you to recite some other poem too, so that we know what Hamida is all about and what Hamida can write and how far she can think.
No, it's not like that. I'm
Yes.
a very simple person, yeah. And I like very simple language, I don't have a collection of beautiful vocabulary actually.
But then this is why so many people can understand your poem, and I think you will have a larger audience.
Okay, so here is the one I wrote for marathon, UBI marathon.
Wow.
It's about two strangers on a journey. So it goes like one heart, one soul, and one flesh and bone. Two dwell in one, but strangely unknown. They traveled, they trekked, they sailed. Wherever they went, they were together. It's been like this as if forever. Search for a purpose and introspection. Am I what I think I am, or a reflection of others' perception? A voyage towards self scrutiny, a pilgrimage towards sane insanity, finding a way to reach the stranger in me. I'm really eager to know what I'm going to see, even if I see a scene of break off. Even if I see a scene of break off, let me create an art of mosaic, a journey of life one must take before a final takeoff. Thank you.
Excellent, Hamida. Excellent. Two different poems, two different types of poems, but the language so simple and so beautiful. It's so
Thank you.
touching. Excellent. So Hamida type. Very nice.
Thank you.
Very nice. Lovely, lovely.
So you took us all back to UBI marathon.
UBI,
Yes.
yeah.
Nice.
I
It's
was
a
so
lovely
determined to
experience.
complete those 25 days.
Yes,
And
yes. It's
yeah,
absolutely something which is a very different experience. Every time you run, it's a different experience. So yes.
I'm hoping to run
And it's
again.
not only, yes, and it's not only about you writing it. You get so many you get so many I mean comments on your poetry that you feel so motivated each day. Though even though you are not up to it, you feel like oh my god, I got so many comments on my poems yesterday, so I think I should not give up, and I just should continue. So
And you
yes.
were there to comment on my poems.
Yes, I normally read all of the
Thank you
poems.
so much. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
Lovely, Hamida. It was excellent having you here once again. And
Thank you.
I'm
Thank you.
sure you have
Saraswati.
a larger audience who connects to you and your poems. I'm sure you have your
Yeah.
own fan following, just like many over here. Everyone relate to some type of some pattern of poetry, I think. And
Yeah,
yours
I'm
is very
satisfied
relatable.
with this. I'm satisfied with this.
In fact, you should be more than satisfied because you fall into my genre kind of.
Yeah,
Because most of my
I'm
poems are
fine.
unedited, and I prefer it like that because the first thoughts
Yeah,
are always the best.
yeah,
And yeah,
The
and feelings
raw
cannot be
is
edited, I'm sure.
the
Yeah.
raw is something
The
which,
rawness is extremely essential for a poem. Yeah. Then it becomes too technical if you keep on editing and
editing
making
it.
it, trying to please each and every person around. So I think it's difficult to do that. Yeah. Uh, Next in the line of our poets is one of my favorites because though I haven't met him, I've just read about him. I've read about Dr. Prakash, and I've read about he's so responsive, he's so prompt. And the moment I asked him for his poems and for his introduction, he just gave me right away. And it was a pleasure reading about him. He is a retired pharma scientist. He has been doing it for the last 42 years. And so we should say that all doctors love him. And
Patients too, because
yeah, patients too. Patients love you more, I
believe me,
guess.
yeah,
Patients,
we make drugs for them.
yes, and
we
patients love
also
you
love you
more.
a lot. We also love you a lot.
Patients love you more because more than the doctors, I feel, because I think they can approach you on more aspects as compared to the doctors.
Yeah, we don't
And
directly interact with the patients, but
yes,
you see, because we are behind the scene, no, we produce and they are the ones who are purveying.
but then you all are the real doctors too.
Yes.
Yes, and his interests are religious and literary writings. And post retirement, he has written many short poetries and stories. And on the national and international platforms, UBI is one of them. And right now, I'm lucky to listen to him online, in person, more or less. Dr. Prakash is going to recite two of his lovely poems. One is about aging gracefully, which I'm sure he is doing, and the next poem is about rape. But right now, I would want him to recite aging gracefully. Is one of our favorite topics of everyone here around.
Yeah, you get to thinking as you grow older. They say as you grow older, you are wiser, not necessarily, but you find that what you are missing. And you see, it's as if you are holding a mirror to yourself and a X-ray mirror. So you see inside yourself, and the time stops on you. You have a lot of time, and your children have grown up. Now you have generations have coming up, grandchildren, and the life is a long life. I started my career at 50 years ago, started career. So then you see so many things, ups and downs. We have gone up high and come down. It is satisfactory things because I've produced so many, more important than the drugs and medicines we have discovered. I've produced so many lives, really. I've changed lives. I feel very happy that I was able to influence people in their thinking. That is more important. And I've always been interested in Hindu philosophy, Vedantic philosophy, at the age of, from the very early age of 10. Then I've always been writing, but now I get more time. And thanks to Divya and my daughter, they are soul sisters. My daughter Aarti pushed me into writing in the platforms. Otherwise, I used to just write in a diary and keep it like that. So now this, since I retired, we retired to full-time living. We were always living part-time, running the hamster wheel. So endlessly looking for deadlines, targets. Now life slows down, but actually it is full. It's a fuller. So that is what I think. So I said I will write. I see there was a prompt in one of the other platforms. They wanted to write a Randu program. Then when I started writing, I didn't meet it actually. So then I thought about myself. So somewhat it is I wrote and it was good. I liked what I was looking back in my long life. And so I call this aging gracefully. When I was born, I knew nothing. Unasked, was given everything. A lady so nice fed me nourishing fluid. In my being, love for her brewed. And I loved the lullabies she did sing. In time, I grew up to be an adult and was assaulted with great tumult by relations and attachments thereof. When I was born, I knew nothing. I grew old, wizened, with hairs grey. Of course, I have shaved it off now. I grew old, wizened, with hairs grey, in a frame that with age had frayed, and host to a myriad of diseases, subject to ridicule and teases. Yet, in a world of peace, I stayed. When I was born, I knew nothing. I still don't know anything, I think. So actually, that gives you perspective when you sit
Yes.
back and reflect.
I have already read this because I am also part of the challenge.
No,
And
this
we
was
are
not
doing it,
published.
but
I changed it. Divya, this was not
Okay.
the one I published. I wrote
Okay.
it. This is a brand new. This is the first
Okay.
release.
okay, great. So he changed it. Look how
For us,
talented
this is
he
something
is.
new. For us, and for the audience here, this is something new. Dr. Prakash, you have really treated us to some wonderful stuff, and but aging gracefully. I think we won't age as gracefully as your poem. So beautiful, so
True.
lovely,
True.
and
Thank
your
you. Thank
perspective, every line of it, I relished every line, I should say.
you. Good.
Very nice. When I was born, I knew nothing. That was the punchline for me.
Yeah,
Very
that's it.
nice.
That is
Yes,
the
and I
essence
still
of
know nothing. I still don't know anything.
Yes,
So
no.
that
That
very
is
is
the
nice.
essence of Hindu
Essence
philosophy.
of the poem, actually, it's the
The
essence of the
great
poem. Yeah.
Shankaracharya, he said, Najanami Shabdam. I don't know words. The one who has written millions of words,
Yes,
and the
yes,
knowledge, ocean of knowledge, he says, Najanami Shabdam. He says, I don't know words.
absolutely, absolutely.
So
Lovely, lovely.
you are all young people, you have a long way to go and so much to learn. And the learning never stops.
Never,
Learning
never.
never,
And
ever
we
stops.
should always be open to learning, I think. You should always be a learner.
It is
Then,
there. It is there. It
yes,
is there
you
for
have
the
to be
taking.
there.
You
There is
just
no
have
be all
to
and end all of anything. Yeah, yeah.
just to keep your eyes open, ears open, things assault you.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
You be receptive. All you have to
Yeah,
be, you are a mirror, you reflect because you are not creating anything. So
yeah.
things come.
The
On or off,
experiences make you wiser
yes.
and, yeah, and more wiser and more smarter, I say.
What they say is the Veda says, Anu Badrani Kravanti Yetsaha. The good thing comes from all. The window is open.
Yes, yes.
All
Yeah, yeah.
directions come.
Experiences and observed instances, they are enough to make you wiser and you age gracefully. That is what is called aging gracefully is all about, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, this is one kind of poem which Mr. Dr. Prakash has written. There's one more poem which is totally different from this, and this is about a social stigma called this rape that happens. And the worst case we have ever heard about, the most touching and which has moved the entire world, is the Nirbhaya case. I think Dr. Prakash has done complete justice to the poem, and we can totally relate to every feeling of it, how every person who has known this case has felt about it, and every woman. I have no words to express this. I think Dr. Prakash, please read your poem on
Yeah.
the same.
Before reading, I would like to say I titled this Nirbhaya,
Yeah,
but actually I was very much disappointed. There is so much hullabaloo and people went overboard. Justice Verma drafted a powerful law. What happened? For 5 years, 6 years, 7 years down, it's still happening. And I'm shocked the age is not a bar. 3-year-old girl is not a safe. And
Yes,
80-year-old woman is also not safe. And I don't know what kind of animals we have. I don't know. Let it grow
truly
in
true,
our
so true.
society. And I feel upset about it. See, not the ones that come, the news TV channels, they talk about it when it is, they have nothing else to talk about. And these have been swept under the carpet, I feel. And it is not a question of how many, what is the conviction rate? How many people they come? Well, see, they take a non-issues. In the fellows who take, for example, the case where these convicts were released, is it important whether released or not? I don't care. So whether you hang him or not, what happens to the girl? See, the stigma, the society, they may talk a big lecture about the convict should be hanged, they should not be let after 14 years. But what do you do to rehabilitate the victim? I hated the word when they call it rape victim. And then they said they went fancy and they said rape survivors. I don't think they are victims or survivors, they are winners. I have known personally a girl and she's fantastic. She finished her doctorate. She was practically uneducated and she has finished her doctorate after this thing happened. And these are the winners I have addressed this point. So Nirbhaya unfortunately lost her life. So as a tribute to her, I salute the winners, rape winners. Rape is the word, this is a nice poetic form.
Yeah.
There is a lot of internal rhymes which carry over to the next line like that. It's a very
Captivating, yes.
form. So there will be several internal rhymes. So please listen slightly carefully. Rape is the word they drape me in, gape at me like an ape, as if I was an ape. They name me, shame me, game am I for all. They name me, shame me, game am I for all. I built a wall around me, pall and gloom surround me. Will I ever bloom? If a savage does ravage my body, damage in lustful rage, scrambles my mind, in shackles wind me up, should my life be an endless strife? Wife to be never? Cast in the dark forever? I vow, the world can go to hell. Woe won't I, no more hiding or biding my time. Tidings good and wholesome will become me. Come greet me, winner am I, sinner no more.
Superb. We are have no words to express, and it's feeling very sad also at the same time, because what have we made out of the society? What are we seeing around? It's
Yes.
really so disgusting. It's so disgusting that human mind has become so fragile and so cheap. I have no words to say, because this rape thing, I think it has to be addressed very, very seriously. And giving birth to a
I would
girl.
like to insist on the positive part of it. How many people have come out of it? The other favorite subject is the acid victims. How many acid victims come out of it? Okay, so now the stigma, the society, the event happened. The society should stop stigma. I have nothing against the rape, let them go to hell. But what about the rest of us? We look down upon the person who has suffered instead of giving our support. So look down upon her. So when I say she, her, so we should be very careful to include the boys also. The exploitation of boys is no less. Only it is not highlighted. When I mean a rape victim, I mean the boys even.
Also,
Yes.
Yes. And I think the one committing the crime, I think these kind of people exist. And what exactly is going wrong? Their mentality, or the way they have been brought up, or there is no counseling, or there is no education. What's wrong with the society? But the moment you give birth to a child, you're only worried about the consequences. What if and what not? What if she grows up and what if she lands into any trouble? Why do we think so negative? Why is that fear in our mind? Is the fear that is bringing so many, like, female infanticide taking place? Is this the reason? Feticide? What is all this? Is this the fear? Is the fear of rape that people are really not wanting a? Yes, sir. Hello. So I think this This is a very touching topic, and it has to be addressed really seriously and put a stop to all this. Uh, we are finished with one round of poems. I think we have all done with 2 poems each, and it was excellent. It was so nice listening to you all. And some poems were a little lengthy, some were small. There were no 2 poems were similar, in fact, of the same poet. It was very enriching and very nice, true to the um, event and true to the open mic. Mm, how do we go ahead? Do you want me to read a poem?
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go on.
Please do.
Yes,
Please
yes,
do.
yes. Yes,
We would love to hear
Kameshwari.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to introduce Kameshwari. As many of you know her, and some of you might not know her. She is, I'm so happy to introduce my ever smiling, beautiful friend, Kameshwari Kulkarni. She's a postgraduate in commerce by qualification and a poet and health ambassador by passion. She mainly writes in English. She is the founder and uh, a host of Poetry Open Mic in Thane City. I myself uh, 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 have attended few of us the open mic sessions online. She is awesome, and she believes in gratitude towards universe. She has participated in many marathons to support social causes, and she can put some light on this herself. Why not, Kameshwari? Up to you.
Yes, thank you, Hamida, for introducing me so beautifully. I've started feeling good about myself already.
You are amazing.
No, actually, I'm just a poet by passion, as she said, and running is one of the health regimes. I won't say that I'm a marathoner because marathoners complete 42 kilometers, and I haven't done that as yet. I'm just a health runner, a passionate runner, and
You will do it.
yeah, and poetry is my first love, I should say. I was born to write. I may not be as I can relate to Hamida. I write very simple poems and very easy to understand poems. I don't rush through the dictionary or the encyclopedia for a better or to edit my work or anything. But I just write and I'm happy being that way. Today I'm going to recite a poem called The High Tech Child. It highlights on the generation now, how we expect of the child to be, and the moment the child is born, what all do we want that child to grow so fast. It's about the high tech child. I remember not the history of my birth. Why would I was a fetus. I was nurtured with folic acid, vitamins and iron supplements, some health drinks and Shaktiman injections. I could hear my mom say, "Doctor, I want a dynamic child." I remember not the pleasures of infancy. Why would I? I've never heard lullabies, no fairy tales, nor grandma's stories. My cradle was designed to play A for apple, B for ball, and my pram, number names and all. I felt like a subject for laboratory experiments. Mom said, "Baby, gear up for the infant revolution." I remember not if I ever was a child. How would I? Nursery had an age bar, so play school would make me a shining star. As I cried hard not to leave my mama's arms, I felt like a rat racing through the maze to get some cheese. When mom said, "On your mark, get set, go. Baby, you need to grow." I remember not when adolescents kissed me. How would I? They never let me be a child. I missed the transition, the journey. The destination was blurred, lost in the world of knowledge of books, when moonlit nights and star-shone skies were shown in planetariums, when mom dad would say, "Baby, you need to push your way," and vacations meant educative summer camps of many days. Today, today they are proud. Today they are proud I'm a grown-up wonder. Grown up? What on earth does that mean? When was I ever a child so small? When was I allowed to falter or fall? I remember not the mischievous ploys. I treasure not comic books and toys. I savor not the taste of innocence that's got lost in the quest for perfection. Hair turning grey. Hair turning grey, does that indicate wisdom? Well, my hair had turned grey even before I became my designation. Long ago, when I burnt the midnight oil for assignments and submissions. Yes, yes, I am dynamic. Yes, I am dynamic. I've grown up so fast because it's a sin to keep wisdom waiting.
Wow, good, excellent.
Very
Thank you.
beautiful.
Thank you so
Wow,
much, sir.
it's
Thanks a lot.
beautiful. Beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. Would anyone else want to go for a third poem as such? Something that you all are. Yeah.
Why don't you read again?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'll go ahead with a small one, keeping the
Yeah,
time
sure,
factor in
sure.
mind. Yeah.
Sure.
This is called komorebi. Komorebi is a Japanese word for the sunlight that passes through the leaves. This is a recent poem of mine. I have made it a little kind of metaphorical. My deliberate mind scripted some beautiful thoughts, and they flowed like never before. They were devoid of something that was unexplainable. They were bright, but needed some glow. They were deep, but hungry to be sown. They were vast, but volatile at times. They were intent, but forcefully rhymed. My deliberate mind reminds me of that instant coffee that gives me that much needed kick, but later makes me acidic and sick. It reminds me of the tea bags and that instant tea that lacks the ginger cardamom satiety. My mindful thoughts are like those instant foods that are quick to fix my hunger. The culmination is more of a cliffhanger. And so I sieve my thoughts. I sieve my thoughts into my heart, and they become pearls of emotions, precious and beautiful, like the sunlight that smiles through the leaves to transform into that beautiful, beautiful komorebi.
Good, excellent.
Thank you so much. Thanks a
Lovely.
lot.
Beautiful,
Lovely.
Kameshwari.
Yeah. It was lovely.
Yeah. I think we have 5 to 7 minutes more where we can welcome a few more poems. Would Divya like to go with it, or Deepti or Dr. Prakash?
Well, if you, I had sent you one more. This is another
Yes.
social evil. This is now, nobody is talking about it. I'm 100% sure it is happening quite a lot, especially in this UP and Bihar, Punjab, Haryana. I know that it is happening. So this is to do with that bride burning. We heard so many legislations were passed. So I say, call this a burning issue. They don't seem to burn brides anymore. Finding other ways, slow poison darts stakes the girl's core, the hurt, however, stays. Torturing the parents instead, better pace. Little nudges work well. Sending the bride home for short stays, 2 rings the bell. Ensure the woman jumps into a well, all from the fan she sways. Keeps the police from ringing your bell, being smart pace. Because they drive them to suicide instead of actually killing. So many suicides are unreported. The dowry menace is alive and kicking. Beware. Look for the signs from your close friend who may be smiling, that she may be hurting inside.
Yes.
I feel very, very strongly about this.
So true. Dowry in various forms, in the form of gifts, in the form of presents, in the form of, like, it is finally dowry.
It is
And,
dowry. They want
yes.
lands and
Yeah, yeah.
houses to be written.
They want a proper living in at one go, I think. Yeah. So this too has to be addressed, because in spite of being so educated, in spite of uh, being in a different era altogether, there's no growth in the mindset of some section of the people. Yeah. So it's of the society. Sorry. So it's really it's very sad that we are living in a country where these issues are yet to be addressed, and these issues have not been sorted out as yet. And I think we as poets, we all that we can do is write something on this, put before the world. If they understand, it's too good. I think we are the most what to say. We are. Well, I'm not getting the right word right now.
Word, yeah.
Harmless, and at the same time, we are good at putting our feelings before the world. We are like Gandhians, I think. Yeah, even the best, I mean, the most harshest issues can be addressed through poetry, through poems. And hope we can make an impact on the society.
I'd like
Yes.
to point out these advanced countries, it is in a
Yes.
different form. They don't call it a dowry, but the harassment of the woman, domestic violence, I have seen it firsthand. It is all over the world. It is not restricted to India, which is
Yes,
a backward
yes, yeah.
society or a Hindu
Yeah,
dominated society. No, it is not a Hindu
yeah.
problem. It is not an Indian problem. It
Yes,
is a
yes.
universal problem.
Yeah.
So it's just to
It is
become
again, it
a
is a woman empowerment. It can be solved by only woman empowerment
woman
and
empowerment.
education.
Yes, yes,
Education,
absolutely.
education. And they can fight for it.
Literacy and education, they are two different things totally. I think then we have to
Yes.
change the mindset of people and educate them in the real way, because only studying, only getting degrees is not enough when your mindset is still stuck up in that era where so many crimes are committed and still being committed even right now, some way or another. We as poets, I think we can just adopt this ahimsa kind of thing, where we can be very we can address these issues in a proper and a poetic way and make an impact on the society. I think that's the least we can do. And thank you, Divya, for being there and
Okay,
filling
Divya.
up the gaps today. And I'm sure everyone is busy, and every poet over here has taken out time for this wonderful open mic. And UBI is doing a great job by bringing so many wonderful poets together on this platform. And every Wednesday, I'm sure many of the poets are waiting to log in and listen to some wonderful poets and singers too. So I would urge everyone here who's watching us to stay tuned into UBI Open Mic on Wednesdays at 6 o'clock. They are really doing a wonderful job of bringing the poets together. You can also be a part of this event by connecting to Mr. Shyam Sundar Sharma, or you can just be a part of this lovely group on Facebook where you'll get updates day in and day out. And you can also be a part of the various poetry marathons here, where you'll be a regular writer, and I think you'll also improvise on your writing. There's no one to judge over here. I'm sure you will be definitely be encouraged, and you'll evolve as a poet. You can see most of them are UBI poets over here. Divya, Hamida,
It's
Dr.
always
Prakash.
been a pleasure.
Yes,
It's always been a pleasure to be here. Even, I mean, I think anything for UBI. I started off my journey here, and I hope I'm here till my last breath. So yes.
I am extremely grateful to Shyam Sundar Sharma sir also for being the catalyst over here. He has united and he has connected to so many poets, irrespective of the groups they belong to. He believes that poetry is one thing that unites so much of talent, and we all belong to one nation of poets. In fact, we are all a group of poets where we come together and under different subgroups, I feel. So let us all come together and encourage and be there, encourage each other, raise each other, as poets and the poetry community. Thank you,
Yeah.
Shyam Sundar Sharma sir, for inviting us all on this platform and doing such a wonderful job. Thank you,
Yeah.
Sapna ma'am, for such a lovely event. And this weekly event definitely encourages a lot of poets to participate here and improvise on their writing and everything. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
It's such a noble deed. Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. It was
Thank you, everyone.
Yes.
Thank you. It's nice to meet you
Thank
all.
you, Hamida. Thank you, Dr. Prakash. Thank you, Deepti.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Are we off?
Hello. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, Hamida.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think rest of them have gone. I had some technical glitch as soon as uh, this live is not getting disconnected.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
But I cannot
Yeah.
see the picture as such. Yeah.
Copy streamline cancel. Yeah. Even I need to go. What's happening?